To be a champion, it requires heart and a relentless desire to be great. Here at Jaguar Women's Basketball, we call that being Southern tough. Join us here at F.G. Clark Activity Center all season long. Tickets are on sale now for 2017-18. Go Jaguars.
This is Inside the Jaguar Nation, presented by Russell Law Firm.
That's right. Welcome to Inside the Jaguar Nation. How y'all doing tonight? I'm Morgan Beard alongside Aaron Lee, and we have got quite the show for you guys tonight.
Yes, Morgan. We got an all-access basketball pass as usual.
Oh, yeah.
And we gear up for a fan-favorite Jaguar. But that's enough talking. Let's get right to it. I'm ready to go. Are you ready, Morgan?
Oh, yeah. Let's get right to it, baby.
All right. The Jaguars took on Ecclesia yesterday, so let's dive right into those highlights. The Jaguars back on the bluff and some legends hanging in the ceiling, my man Avery Johnson. And despite not having their starting guard, Eddie Reese, sitting out with injury, it didn't matter. Here off the feed, Jaguar Sandiford throws it down to put the Jaguars up big. Then the Jaguars show some smooth ball movement. LaQuinton Collins to Sidney Amunde for the lay-in. He had a game high of 14 points, Morgan.
Yeah, then the bench also getting involved, a sign of a good day right there. Richard Lee, no relation to Aaron Lee, 13 points on the day, and then Chris Thomas, Euro-stepping all over the world, and that would seal it up. Jaguars stay undefeated at home and win their final non-conference game, 98-57, and it goes well beyond that score. Aaron, let's take a look at some stats.
All right, Sidney Amunde had 14 points, tied for the game high. Jaguar Sandiford, 13 points, 3 assists, and 3 steals. Here's the killer right here. Points in the paint, 32 for the Jaguars, and then bench points with 53.
53 bench points.
53 what? Bench points. Here's Coach Morris Scott talking about his team big win.
I'm here with Coach Scott after a big win, just shy of 100 points. Just tell me what your team did tonight as far as game execution, or were you satisfied with that? And what was the game plan going into this final non-conference game?
Well, the game plan was just come out and defend. We wanted to do a great job defensively. I thought we did for a little while there, especially to start the second half. I thought we did a great job. We came out and held them scoreless for the first media timeout. And that's always a great thing when you can limit people scoring, throughout media timeouts. I think that's, of course the success is going to come because that means you get multiple stops. And that's what we've been thriving, trying to get multiple stops so that we can defend a lot better.
All right, you didn't have one of your starting guards, Eddie Reese. What was the deal with him? Was it an injury, just rest, or what was going on with Eddie tonight?
Right, a little bit of both. Injuries, rest, and, he got caught in a little weather because it's snowing real bad in Detroit. He went home for Christmas, so he kind of got back in a little late. So trying to get his wind up before we put him back out there. And we can't afford to get any more injuries. And we was without our other point guard with Torrey Mayo because he was out with a foot injury. So hopefully those guys will be back when we get ready to take off and get on the road.
Aaron, now Coach Scott seemed pleased with the victory, seemed pleased with his defense and how they performed. But let's talk some offense now. The Jaguars getting a big player back recently, and he's been tearing it up.
Yes, that's right, Morgan. Sidney Amunde missed the first 10 games due to injury, but he came back and provided a spark off the bench, and he had a big game against Florida A&M with 14 points, and he had 14 points yesterday. Here he is speaking about his role.
What I'm trying to bring to this team is a lot of energy, athleticism, and just every time I step on the floor to just be aggressive every time I'm out there and just play hard, give it my all 100% every time. That's what I'm trying to bring to the team. I missed the first 10 games, but now that I'm back, I'm trying to bring us back. I've been with the team, all through off season and workouts, and I've just been saying I'm ready, like I'm ready to play, and like the guys they've been waiting for me to get out there. So I think that's really the hope. They were just hoping for me to play good, and I was ready off of that.
And as Sidney came back, the human jukebox is back every week with us as they break us the break. But coming up next, we have an update with a superstar Jaguar, Devon Gales. You don't want to miss what he's been up to. It's big, Morgan.
Oh, yeah, it's good stuff there. And later in the show, Aaron, I heard you got some shots up with the Jaguar guard from the Bronx. They can ball up there. I don't know about Aaron. Well, we're going to see about that, though, here when Inside the Jaguar Nation returns.
You're watching Inside the Jaguar Nation, presented by Russell Law Firm, with Brian Holland, Morgan Beard, Ashley Lyotis, and Aaron Lee.
Hey, that's right. That was us right there. Morgan Beard, Aaron Lee, once again, same show, Inside the Jaguar Nation. And Aaron, Right now, it's the time we look at our Performer of the Week.
Yeah, this Performer of the Week is a former Jaguar who has touched the hearts of many Jaguar Nation, professional athletes, and celebrities. This week's Performer of the Week is Devon Gales.
And really, he could be the Performer of the Week any week. And more recently, though, Southern wide receiver Devon Gales, you may remember, paralyzed in 2015, but he is making remarkable progress in his recovery. And recently, NFL players such as Travis Kelce, Jameis Winston, and as Aaron said, celebrities Tracy Morgan, T-Pain, they're all partnering with the organization Walk Again Athletic Warriors to sell custom shoes with the proceeds going towards Gales' recovery. And those shoes, you can tell they're pretty nice, so it's no wonder they have raised $125,000. However, the end goal is $500,000, and I said those shoes are nice. You don't believe me, just believe Gales himself saying hashtag the shoes are fly, and yes, they are. If you would like to contribute, donations are accepted on Walk Again Athletic Warriors' official website, walkagain.org. Now let's take a back look with his fight and his will and his walk again here. Our very own Chad Savity catching up with Gales last month.
In his dreams, Devon Gales walks with ease.
This dream that my mom bought me some shoes, some red shoes, and I was tying them like right in the back room, and I was walking outside, and I was going to get in somebody's car. Right after that, she bought me those red shoes, so I was like, so it's coming. I just never know when.
In reality, he walks with a helping hand. But Gales won't stop until his dreams become reality once again.
To be able to walk and share my story. Everything is in God's plan, and anything's possible.
He's a wonderful kid. Devon is just, he continues to show not just, my husband and I, but everybody that he's determined, and when he puts his mind to something, he's going to get it done.
Devon came home for Thanksgiving week to spend time with his family and friends before returning to Atlanta and his new family at the Shepherd Center, where Gales has made significant progress in his recovery, including taking his very first steps with the Indigo machine in May.
Once you see something happen, it just kind of like motivates you to keep going. So once I started moving one thing, another thing started coming. I know I'm going to get everything back, and it just takes time.
Like he defines it as 10 times worse than 2-a-days. So, with seeing all of the hard work that he's putting into it, and I get to see what comes out of it, meaning where he wasn't able to sit up on his own. Now I can sit him in a chair. He can sit. He's not wobbling. He's able to hold his core. He's able to feed himself, put his clothes on, transfer in and out of a car, to where before I was having to physically pick him up and put him in the car using slide boards and, different things like that to do that. Many of those things he's able to do on his own now. We celebrate all victories. There's none too small. Every small thing is a victory for us.
Physically and mentally stronger than ever, Gales has also actively engaged in sharing his message publicly, a message of hope.
Being back on my feet and motivating others to push and go through their day, knowing that somebody else has it worse than you. That other person might look up to you and they might get something back, or that might motivate them to do something they haven't did before. So I'm still living, and I'm still pushing and fighting to be able to get to a goal that I've been trying to accomplish since this happened.
Yeah, that's right. And as always, we have the sweet sounds of the human jukebox. But coming up next, we talk Lady Jaguars as they prepare for SWAC play. We'll be right back on Inside the Jaguar Nation.
This is Inside the Jaguar Nation, presented by Russell Law Firm.
Welcome back to Inside the Jaguar Nation, and it's the moment of truth, the moment we've all been waiting for. SWAC play, finally here. Aaron Lee letting us know what's coming up for the Jags.
Basketball on the Bluff is about to ramp up as the Jaguars enter the most anticipated SWAC play. Both the men's and women's team are preparing for conference play over the holiday break. And let's take a look at what's coming up for them. Let's start with the men. They will start SWAC play on the road in Houston at Texas Southern Monday, January 1st, New Year's Day at 8 p.m. A late start. Then they will stay in Texas to square off with Prairie View on Wednesday, January 3rd at 7:30 p.m. And then they wrap up the week traveling back on the Bluff for some home cooking to face their in-state rival, Grambling, Saturday, January 6th at 5:30 p.m. Now let's look at the women's side, and they stay in Houston as well. They will start off at Texas Southern on New Year's at 5 p.m. Then they battle with Prairie View on Wednesday, January 3rd at 5:30 p.m. And then they take a trip home to face Grambling State as well, Saturday, January 6th at 3 p.m. Let's hope the Jaguars can make some much needed noise in conference play. Morgan?
Hey, good stuff, Aaron. Now let's dig into the women's team a little bit. They're trying to bounce back from some tough losses recently to Toledo and the West Palm Invite, and they're in need of a change in fortune, right, Aaron?
Yes, Morgan. That comeback, that almost comeback against South Alabama 2 weeks ago took a lot of them physically, but they gained some mental toughness. I got a chance to speak with Coach Sandy Pugh this past week on how her team is moving forward.
Right now, we're going over our previous mistakes in preseason play, just trying to tweak some things, working on the basics, fundamentals, and then we're going to build up from there. I'm getting a lot of shots up, working on our conditioning, a lot of team building type activities going on. So just trying to get them re-energized in terms of getting ready for the second phase of our season. You know, that South Alabama game, when you look at that game, you're down 20 plus points, you know, and then you do everything you're supposed to do to claw back into it. And you take the lead, you're up 3 points, you know, with a minute to go with the basketball. And then you commit 3 turnovers. And then you foul, you know, and put them at the line. And the next thing you know, you're down. You know, it was one of those highs and lows, ebbs and tides, and that, you know, the big thing, we didn't want to be frustrated. You know, we wanted to walk away from that game with something positive. We walked away from the game thinking, hey, we are a good team. We just made some mistakes down the stretch in terms of closing our games. Right now, our focus is close. We've got to begin to learn how to close out games. And we've got to begin to believe that we are that team and play at that level with that level of energy that it takes for 40 minutes, not 20, not 10, not sporadically.
Yeah, there's the human jukebox as always. Aaron Lee, what are you going to be calling that right there? A few with few, right?
Something like that,
We're giving you a little taste, a little sneak peek of what's to come here in the coming weeks on Inside the Jaguar Nation. But coming up on this show, we get to know a Southern Jaguar guard, and Aaron, like we said earlier, you got to do a shooting competition with him, isn't that right?
Something like that.
Hey, we'll see how it all went down there in the gym coming up right here on Inside the Jaguar Nation.
This is Inside the Jaguar Nation, presented by Russell Law Firm.
Welcome back to Inside the Jaguar Nation. I'm Aaron Lee. He's Morgan Beard. And Morgan, I'm not pleased with this next segment. I got a chance to wrap it up with junior guard Aaron Ray this past week. We talked about his life, his love of the game, and we also shot the ball around just a little bit.
It sounded like he was shooting the ball around and you were just Brick City over there.
I was trying.
Hey, let's see exactly how it all unfolded and get to know junior guard Aaron Ray.
I live in the Bronx, but I moved up to Middletown when I was 16 years old. Aaron Ray, as a person, he's quiet a bunch of the times, but like when you get to know him, he's outgoing, makes people laugh, always has people around him. It's just me. I'm just the type of person to get everybody laughing and joking around, because I like laughing, I like joking around. Play hard all the time. I have to play hard because I have 2 brothers, 2 sisters. No, 2 brothers, 1 sister. Both of my brothers overseas playing basketball, so that's where I want to be at. So I tell everybody I have to work 2 times as hard to get to where my brothers is at. Everybody tell me, what you gonna do with that? Because I usually always grow my hair out during the winter, and I cut it during the summer, but it's kind of different now. Usually I don't have a barber up here. I'm trying to look for a barber up here, but once I went home, I have to cut it off, get a new start. You know, everybody, when I play, everybody always tell me, like, get your hair cut.
I did not make him cut the hair. He just decided. He said, "Coach, man, when I go back home, I think I'm gonna cut my hair." I said, "Hey, man, that might be a good deal, man. You might be able to throw some more shots in. At least you might be able to get off the floor a little higher."
Get some shots up. Aaron ready? So we got a better jumper. We start with point shooting. Oh. Oh.
Oh, Aaron, what happened there, my friend?
Look, my performance wasn't good, but the human jukebox always performed, always great. Coming up next, Coach Scott talks about being honored for his first win in front of his alma mater. We'll be right back with more Inside the Jaguar Nation.
This is Inside the Jaguar Nation, presented by Russell Law Firm.
Welcome back to Inside the Jaguar Nation. Morgan Beard alongside Aaron Lee, as we have been all show long. And Aaron, nothing feels better than being recognized for something you do well, right?
Yes, it feels good when people recognize your accomplishments. And Coach Morris Scott was honored recently for his first win as new basketball head coach. And it happened against his alma mater. Here's Coach Scott.
It was a great honor, especially, you know, to be honored in a game of my, you know, alma mater and everything. It was great to play those guys, and it was also good to be in season. It was a good feeling, though, to have Coach Banks there to watch us play and, you know, be proud of our team and acknowledge, you know, us, you know, me picking up my first win as a new head coach and everything like that. Hopefully we'll get some more honors of picking up, you know, first conference win, first road win, and hopefully it just keeps going.
Yeah, Morgan, I was there. It was great to see that. Great to see Coach Banks hand over the reins to Coach Scott. And Coach Scott is getting ready for SWAC play. So that's coming up in Houston.
The real fun begins
on
now.
On the road, Texas Southern, men and women's this week. It's going to be some great games.
I like how, you know, some places, I know they're not the only ones to do that. You know, usually you think a 100 win, 1,000th win. Hey, get a plaque for that first win, too. It's just as special, especially get it out of the way.
We want to see those Coach K's, those 900s, those 1,000 wins. So good luck to the Jaguars and Coach Scott on making history.
Awesome. Hey, we'll have much more Inside the Jaguar next week, but that's it for this show, Aaron. As always,
another great show,
Another great show. Hey, we'll be here same time, same place next week. Thanks for joining us.
Winning doesn't happen overnight without a championship mindset. Come join me, head coach Morris Scott, and the SU Jags men's basketball team as we prepare for the upcoming season at the Mini Dome. Come join us. Go get your tickets today. Go Jags.